face. Okay, so
So
I remain for the museum. All right, and let's get to what we have for today. I'm going to um, let me go across the PDF files I shared with you people. Okay, okay. For those of you that are online, I would just have to share the link to this slide. Yes. So let me open the slide. So we're going to start with the fourth slide, okay, which was supposed to be our last class. Yes, there we go. All right, so I'm pasting it in the comment box. You can check it out. So open the slide with me and give me a thumbs up once you're there. I'm going to be sharing my screen right now. Good. Okay, very well. So please, I would want everybody to also
sir,
prepare their
this
question
link
as
you
this
dropped,
class is going.
yeah,
Okay, go ahead. I didn't hear you. Come again. Come again.
as the PDF you shared earlier.
It's sent as PDF. No, it's not
And I
supposed
said
to.
the PDF you shared earlier. Is it not the same thing as the link?
Yes, 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 yes. It's the
Are
same
they the
thing.
same?
It's the same.
Okay, I
Yes,
just
yes. It's the same. Yes. I just downloaded it as PDF and sent to the group.
okay.
Okay. Yes,
All right,
yes.
thank
Okay. Yeah. So I was trying to say something initially. I said I would want you people to also prepare your questions even as this class proceed. Okay. I'm going to um, shoot for like 15 minutes and then I'll give room for questions for about 2 minutes. All right. We'll attend to questions. I will attend to questions. Okay. And then we move ahead again. Okay. We have a lot of things to cover today. And if you check the D4 slide, if you're with the PDF or you're with the link I just dropped, two of them, they are the same. Okay. So we are still using the um, SME model enhanced.ssl data set. Okay, and here is a bit of the things we are going to cover today. Okay, so we are going to be able to learn how to choose the right charts for the right story. Okay, when I was trying to start the class the last time, that was on Tuesday before network had issues. Okay. Now I was trying to make us understand that one of the essence of your analysis is for you to be able to tell uh, an appealing story with data. Okay. You're making meaning with data. Now imagine the raw Excel sheet that you get. All right. And then when I think my screen should be the prior stuff right now. Okay, so imagine having an Excel sheet, and then when you want to present it to your admin board or um, to the company you work for analysis, not everybody would be calm to look at the results you are giving out, right? Because the sheet can be boring, okay, but with your analysis, you can create visuals, okay, especially the right visual to communicate whatever information you have to communicate with your data set. All right. Now, um, you knowing the right chart to select is key. All right. I gave an illustration in the document I shared. We're going to go over this in detail. Okay. Um, one of the things we're also going to cover today is building charts and cards in Power BI. All right, which is where you get to, after selecting, you know how to insert the chart, obviously. And then we are going to also look at how to use slicer and filters to make your visuals interactive. All right. And at the end of this model that we're going to cover, you'll be able to create a clean, readable, and impressive dashboard. All right. Now, when you look at our data set, okay, you will believe with me that you will not be able to easily tell the product that is sold most, like within the month. Like if you're asked to identify the products that um, have the highest sales record within a month, all right, with that data set, it would be difficult for you to spot. Yes, you get it. Okay, the data is there, the detail is there, but it's going to take you time, right? But imagine visualizing it with a bar chart. You'll be able to spot it within seconds. Are you with me? So that is what selecting the right chart for a data set or a data presentation, that is what it implies, or that is how it works. It makes your visualization interactive, simple, and readable. Are you with me? Yes, obviously, the Power BI makes your analysis interactive, but simplicity is key in design. All right. For someone to be able to easily look at your dashboard and read the information you are communicating with ease, that is key in your analysis and presentation. Okay. So I wrote down key terms and definitions that we are going to be encountering as we proceed. Okay, I know I've mentioned data visualization, but I still put down some of the definition here. So I wrote here, data visualization is the use of charts and visuals to communicate insights from your data. Okay, and holy shit, have I been recording? Okay, thank God. So I I didn't know whether I've started the recording or not. So well, thank God it's recording. Now, bar chart is a chart that compares quantity across category. Okay. When you want to compare quantities across a category of in a month, all right, you want to compare a quantity, all right, or you want to compare quantities across category. Okay. Now, line charts, a chart that shows trends over time. This guy often help you to analyze or visualize trend over time. Okay. Let me be pointing them in this thing, Power BI desktop, so that we are going to be on them. Okay, so I'm opening the last presentation tab. Okay, so why that is coming up? Um, there is pie and donut charts, which I'm going to be showing also, card and your slicer. Okay, now these are the guys I talked about. Okay, still coming up. Moment. All right. So why is coming up? I want you to try out this step. I believe you have your Power BI desktop opened also at your end. Okay, I want you to create these different views. Okay, now create a bar chart and plot X against it's coming up. Plot revenue against products. Okay, you do this by dragging products to your x-axis and revenue to your y-axis. Let's do that. So let me show you. I believe this guy is up now. Loading data model is coming up. That's not the right one. So it's coming up. So why is coming up? Why is coming up? You can try this out, all right? And if you get it, tell me in the comment section. I just did it. Once you get it, tell me in the comment section. I just did it. And also for those of you that would be watching this later after today or after the class, you can also interact in the comment box on the YouTube channel. All right. Yes, I know the video is public and even people that are not enrolled here, I encourage that you follow up as well. So now try this visualization and try this second one for line charts. I told you line chart is used to analyze trend over time. Okay, so if you look at the data pane, you will see among this spreadsheet that we imported, you'll see the date column. Okay, you drag it to the x-axis. You first of all insert the line chart. I want to be illustrating this. This is taking time. Okay, I guess it's coming up now. I hope I don't have a moment. Be trying out what I just illustrated. Let me see whether there are background applications that's affecting this. Okay, it's up already, but I still need to handle these guys. Okay, so also today we are going to actually touch DAX functions, data analysis expression. You're going to see how that affects our analysis a lot. Is a bit advanced, but I'll try to make it more simple. Is that a hand raised up? Okay, Emmanuel, go ahead with your question.
Yeah, you say the assignment you say we should try now. You say product against
Okay.
and
Products
again which
against
data are we using the modeling data against revenue?
yeah. This is the data set you are using, the SME modeling enhance, the one we use for D3.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Please, can
And
you send these
I
data sets to us? Because I don't have the link to it.
is in the drive. It's in the drive. Let me check it again. I'll send it here now. I also noticed I did not attach it in the description for the previous videos. I would also do that. Okay. Data sets is this one. So this is the one we are using. Let me share it again. So you will see that it has two sheets inside, or two table rather inside. Now, the others table and the sheets. Here's my meeting.
So you're sending the
Okay.
link to the drive again to us.
Yes, yes. So you'll see it in my comment box. Go ahead and use it. Okay. So this guy is up. So if you import the data set, you're going to see your orders and sales table. Okay. So this is what we are working with. Now, let me go ahead and explain this other guy. So I was um, illustrating that how you can use some of this visualization for what you want best. Okay, I talked about line charts. Okay, you can use any of these bar charts anyway, whether stack column bar chart or the stack bar charts. Okay, this is the stack bar chart used here. So this is the line chart. Line chart is often used when you want to illustrate um, a product over time. You want to analyze the category of item, quantity of product item over time, any quantity at all over time. Okay, so um, for the first tax, I say you should do right now, the die tax. I say you should plot um, a bar chart of products and revenue. Okay, revenue against product. Revenue will be your Y, and product will be in your X. So let's do that right away. I think that is this result. So I'm gonna remove it and plot it again. Okay, so I'm going to insert a bar chart. All right, this is the bar chart. I drag it to any position I want. Okay, so let it be here. And then since our bar chart is selected, I'm going to open, where do we have revenue? We have revenue in sales table. Okay, we have revenue in sales table, and product also in sales table. So you are seeing the category, your plotting details here. All right. So we are going to drag product to X, right?
Yes.
That's what I instructed. Let me check this line. Okay, to X and revenue to Y. All right. So I'm dragging products to X. You can see me, right? Mm. And it will show. Okay. And then I want to drag revenue to Y. So it's as easy as drag and drop. All right. And you see the results of our visualization here. Okay. So again, I want us to do the second task there, which is using this line chart to plot. We're going to plot quantity sold against dates. All right. Quantity sold against dates. So we're going to drag date to x-axis and then quantity sold. Let's see what comes out. Okay, so this is the selected. You make sure you select if nothing is selected, it's going to automatically insert a visualization. Okay, so I'm going to select it and then I'll drag date to X. Okay, make sure you are doing this with me, and then quantity sold to Y. Okay, so it's loading, it's loaded. You can see that, right?
So they're using sales and quantity sold. Please confirm.
Yes. No, I'm using date and quantity sold. I said when you want to analyze a quantity over time, remember I gave you a bit of guide on how to select the right visualization. All right. I say when you want to show trends over time, line chart is often the best. Okay. Okay. So, and that is why we're using line charts to show trend over time. When you talk about time, is dates you're talking about, right? Okay. So, if you want to point down to the exact time, you narrow down to day and time. Okay. So now, we're going to use slicer to make this more readable. Okay, and I will show you how to do that. It's clustered, right? We are going to do that with slicer. So I talked about a bit of visualization there. This is donut chart. This is pie chart. This is bar gauge chart. Okay. Now, pie chart is often used when you want to illustrate parts out of a whole. Okay, I guess I also gave illustration of this here. Yes. So I say chart that shows parts to whole relationships. Okay, in the last class, I remember mentioning this, giving this analogy, and it still counts. Okay, those days in primary school. Now, once it gets to the time in our curriculum to learn fractions in mathematics, right? So our teacher will always tell us to come to class with orange, and we'll go and disturb our parents. All right. Now, that is an illustration of a bar chart. Now, you remember that when you start sectioning those orange, see the orange as a whole, all right? And let's say you want to have a 1/4, you want to show any part out of the whole, you have to slice it out, right? And so that is what bar chart helps you illustrate. Okay, so you can illustrate parts, you can show parts to whole relationship with pie chart. Okay. Yes, pie charts. Have I been mentioning otherwise? I felt like I was mentioning bar charts. Okay, so that is that for pie charts. This is donut chart also. Often they work same or they look alike. Okay, so this is gauge. This is card. Okay, we are going to use this when we get to DAX functions. Okay, we are going to use this to maybe explain a result or give a result. All right, let's say you want to know the total number of milk sold within a month. So you just need a figure, right? So those kind of visualization is best done with card. All right, so to just show the results via figure. And moving on, I guess it's time to show you slicer. Okay, you can go ahead and do this other plotting. Okay, this with donut charts and visualize this with card. Okay, display total revenue. All right, total revenue generated within a month or total revenue generated within the time of sales. Okay, for the year as the case may be. So If you don't have that, if you don't have this total revenue, if you don't have this value yet, you are going to get it by creating a measure. Okay, you just have revenue. All right. Um, total sales value. Okay. Yeah, some of you created this. Total revenue. How do we calculate for total revenue? First of all, let me ask it that way. How do we calculate for total revenue? If you have an idea, okay, kudos, Charles. If you, I guess this when I ask you should comment down when you've achieved the tax. Okay, so I asked the question, how do you calculate for total revenue? You can drop in the comment box or raise up your hand and talk. Emmanuel, is that what you want to say? Go ahead. How do you calculate total revenue? Any other person, if you have an idea, just spill it out.
Total revenue is cost multiplied by the number of quantities sold.
Cost multiplied by
Quantity sold. Quantity.
I think it's quantity sold by unit cost.
quantity sold by unit cost.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So
That's
let's
very,
verify
very
that. We also
Well,
have a
multiply
revenue table, right?
so total revenue.
We also have a revenue table, right? Revenue is what is revenue first of all, before we talk about total revenue?
Revenue is the money recover or let's just say the money recover from generated from the business. It also includes costs, it includes expenses and all that.
Exactly. So you want to know the total revenue, both income, uh, profit and expenditure is factored in, right? Okay. So you can easily get it since you have a revenue table, okay? Since you have a revenue column, rather, you can easily get it by summing the whole revenue table column, rather. Okay. So remember when you want to, you can, okay, I'm going to show DAX measures, but then plot the other visual. Let's go ahead. I thank God you people have ideas, and I am glad you're able to respond to that. Okay, so now let me show you slicer before we get into we start touching these guys, because that's where I would show you how to calculate, make most of these calculations. Okay, so let me touch slicer, which is the last thing for this slide. Where is it? Okay, so now remember we said something. I said I was going to show you how to make this better, right? Let's say you want to span into a range of time. Okay, this is line chart is used to visualize trend over time, right? And we plotted this with uh, quantity sold and date, right? Now, quantity sold by date. So this is clustered. We cannot really make a clean communication or presentation from this, but slicer would help us do that. So how do we do that? This is the slicer visualization. So I'm just going to select an empty space and insert slicer. Now, you can easily just drag the dates, okay? Drag the dates column to it, and you have this, all right? So when you span it a bit, you notice that you can zoom into time, and you can adjust this to look more presentable. Let's place it here. Okay, so our visualization is clean now, right? And we can check for any range in time. Okay, so this is using start dates for so time. I did not clean this thing. What will showing me? So you remember how to clean, right? How to format your dates. I did that in day two. So we can still go to um our table view and see, okay, our date is not even in order date. We're using the one in sales table, is not in order. So you can make your adjustments using the Power Query editor so that it will format the
Hello.
dates.
This thing is static. Oh. We're not see what you're doing.
Your this thing is static. We are not seeing what you're doing.
Really?
The
That should
screen.
be
Yeah.
network.
Yes, for the past how many minutes we are seeing the notes.
Oh, whoa. Okay, let me change. Thank you for that. Okay. So I think I should stop sharing and share again. Okay, I believe you can see my screen now, understandably, right? Please confirm.
We can see it.
Okay,
Yes, we
okay.
can see.
So did you get the point I inserted this slicer?
No.
Okay, let me remove it and do it again. Remove. Okay, so I was trying to illustrate how you can use slicer to make your visualization more interesting and readable. Okay, readability is key. So now this is the slicer. This is the guy. This is slicer visualization. Okay, so I'm just going to select it and it will insert. You can see that, right? Now I just want to use date slicing. Okay, so I'm going to drag the date column to it, and boom, you have this. Okay, so it's not difficult. You can be doing it the same with me. Okay, if you have issues, you let me know. Yes, so you can see that it's as easy as drag and drop. Now I'm going to position it up here just to make our dashboard clean and better. All right, so I also noticed that my date was not formatted. Okay, so I guess I imported a data set. I did not clean this one now, but I made reference to having taught how to format this. So you know you can do that with your Power Query editor, right? So when you want to transform your data set, you click on transform data and it will load your Power Query editor. Okay, so you can quickly um, format the date column. All right. I also noticed that some of you, these the dashboard you have been sending, you formatted the date column very well. Um, that's a plus for you. I'm happy for that. I know you should be happy for yourself too. Okay, so now it's just for us to select the sales table, which is where we want to make change. And once it loads, so once it loads, we go ahead to format the date column. Okay. Mm. Yes, I dropped a video. Why this is coming up? I dropped a video in the group this evening. Okay, so about two persons messaged me because of same issue. I believe that was the tax I gave in the two or the three. of you creating another column. Okay, I noticed some persons did it, but some were finding it difficult. So yes, it was this column. So I just had to quickly record it and send to the person. I had to forward it to the group like that also. So you can watch it and get to know how to insert new column, right, from this add column option. Okay, so what brought us here is, maybe we can still do it. If you want us to do it, tell me in the comment section. If you want me to go ahead, you can say go ahead and I will skip it. So, but then let me format the date quickly. That was what brought me here. Yes, this is the date column. Okay. And I want to have the format in date. Okay, so select date type, still in the home tab, select date type and select dates. Okay, and it will automatically format the date column to actual dates. Okay, you see that. So just close and go. Let me see, do you want me to do the addition of new column? Please can add
You can.
the group. Okay, so let me touch that quickly. Okay, I'm going to delete the column. I guess I created it. Let me look at the operation I asked you to use. So if you look here, you'll notice that each column you select, this guy displays the function that is, or the operation happening in that column, right? So let's say I want to delete this column, not rename, and create it again. Total sales value. Total sales value is a product of quantity sold and unit price, right? Unit cost and quantity sold. Yes, that is total sales value. So now I'm going to delete this and come again, remove, right click on top, remove. So the table is gone, the column is gone. So you go ahead and click on add column here, still on our Power Query editor, right? And then select custom column. Okay, and a dialog box will come up. Confirm if you are seeing all the dialog. I'm sharing my entire screen, right?
Yeah, we can
You
see
are,
it.
okay, thank God.
Yes.
So this is where you put the name of the column. Okay, so total sales value. All right, and I said this is a function of quantity sold, or a product of quantity sold and unit cost. Okay, so how do we get this here? Quantity sold, select it and then click insert. Okay, it's going to insert it. Okay, thank God I'm actually doing this, because those of you that are watching on YouTube, you'll be able to do it also. Yes, so quantity sold times unit cost. All right, so multiplication here is asterisk. So yes, you're having a red flag, but then that's because your sequence is not complete yet. So just go ahead and insert what you are multiplying with, which is unit cost. And boom, the red flag goes out. Then you can go ahead and select OK. All right. So our new table, our new column rather, appears, and you're going to see it in our applied steps, added column. Okay. So if you get that, give me a thumbs up. I am now going to
Create these last steps.
the last step.
Yeah.
Okay. You virtually mean I should do it again. All right. Meanwhile, the class is recorded. Let me go over it again quickly, but follow me, please. I might not be doing like repeating most of these steps again since the video is recorded, so you can always replay it on YouTube, right? But try to follow me as much as you can. Okay, so add column. All right, go to custom column. From add column, you click on custom column, which brings up this box. Okay, you name your column here. Total sales value. And then this is where you input the formula that handles each column. Remember, I told you that if you select any column, you will be seeing the operation that handles that column. Okay, so when this is a measure, okay, I would explain this when we are getting to data analysis expression. And what I called DAX earlier is data analysis expression, DAX. So back to where we are. I say this is where you name your column. This is where you input the function or the measure that runs across the column. Okay. So, and what we want to calculate, total sales value is quantity sold times unit cost. Okay. So you select quantity sold and click on this insert button. Okay, it gets it there. I am going to now add my multiplication sign and insert unit cost. Okay, so that is it. Okay, and once you're done, just click OK. It saves and you have your product. So I'm going to save this and we look at the slicer. Yes, so you notice that our date, this thing will change. The date format here will change. Okay. So the correction is apply changes. Okay, never mind. Okay, it's loading. All right. So let me just go to my slide while this is loading. I believe. Oh, okay. Ask your question. Ask your question. Is it with respect to what I just did? Electric glory. Okay. This is where we are slicer. All right. So now you're able. Today we've achieved a lot actually. Okay, so we've been able to know the right visual to select for a visualization. We've been able to um, know how to know the visual that tells your story the more better. We've been able to add a new custom column. You now understand how you can use slicer. Okay, that's where we are. But I've communicated how you can use slicer to make your visualization better, simple, and readable. Okay. And make sure you do the task in this slide, please, everybody. Do the task in this slide. Add other this thing that I said you should create. This other visualization, the donut charts and the card visual. Okay. So when we get to do the measure, you'll be able to plot the card visualization for that total revenue. Okay, so you can add this bonus slicer as well to your slicer to filter with location, other status, and all. Okay, so I think we are done with this D3. Let's go to D4. Let's go to D5. Okay, so what you're learning is still in line. All right. So this is welcome to D5. So this is data analysis expression, DAX. Okay, and we are still going to be using the same data set. All right. Now what you are going to learn in this module, okay, would include you get to understand what DAX is and where it is used. All right. You get to know the difference between measures and calculated columns. All right. What we just did was a calculated column. Okay. You will now see the difference between that and a measure. You can actually create a measure like without it being a column. All right. So, and you get to understand how to write basic DAX formulas. Okay. You get to use DAX to create KPI cards and enhance insights. Okay. And boom, let's get into the class. Now, DAX is actually like a brain behind the dashboard. Okay. It's like the brain behind those stunning visualization that you see. Is the let's say secret code to answering most intriguing questions in your data set. It is very, very important. Okay. So, like I said, you should plot a card visual for total revenue, right? So that was not in your data set. The same scenario applies to when you get to start working in a company as a data analyst, right? When they give you data sets, some of these data sets will not have this, they will not have answers or results to so many questions that should be coming out of that data set. Okay, but that function is going to help you do that a lot. Now, okay, I wrote down something here. So just like Excel. Yeah, I know some of you should be familiar with Excel. Yes. So just like your Excel formulas, okay. Now, Power BI uses DAX to calculate values based on your data model. Okay. I made mention of measures. I think I would just tell you a bit what measure is. All right. Measure is basically the calculation that runs across your model. Okay. The calculation that runs across your model. Okay. So we are going to step by step create some measures that we'll be needing. Okay. Oh, sorry about this. Okay, so let's say you are required to calculate the total revenue. Okay, that is actually one of the things you needed in that card. Now, I said there's a difference between DAX measure. Okay, this guy has applied. You see that when you drag it, you see the difference, right? Our chart is now clean and readable. So back to what I was talking about. I believe the transition I just did now did not confuse anybody. Okay. So your slides, if you're confused about what I just did, let me know.
Yes.
Some confused though.
Okay, okay. Okay, please let me go over it again. Now I know we are somewhere before we came to Power BI, right? Still being taxed there, we are coming back to that. So remember before we left Power BI, this date format was loading. Okay. And it was having some digit that we don't understand, that does not look like date. Okay, which was what led us to Power Query to format our date column properly. All right, and now that our date has applied, um, I said this is slicer first of all. Okay, remember how we inserted it, and then we drag the date column to it. Now, if we want to have a visualization for a particular range in time, this help us. Now, just like this plot is looking clustered, right? Is not actually, we cannot actually easily read the sum of quantities sold across dates because of the way it's clustered. So for our analysis to be readable, we use slicer. Okay, and now we can say we want to see the sum of quantities sold from, what date is this? Third. That's the third month of the year. That's May, right? February, March. All right, that's March. Okay, so we want to analyze from March to whatever range. This is your start date, this is your end date. Okay, when you go to, or when you open your bank app, this is actually how some of these things are employed in your website and mobile applications. Okay, when you open your bank app and you want to print your bank statement from your mobile app, you see a field to enter start date. Sorry about that. Start date and end date. Okay, so this is what this purpose serves. Okay, start date and end date, and it have a wheel that can help you like drag it easily. Okay, you're dragging it and you're checking your start date, you're seeing it. All right, you're seeing the adjustment, and when I drag this other wheel, it's affecting my end date. Okay, and when I'm holding it, you're seeing that it has an end date pop-up showing. All right, and you see this makes our visualization simple and readable. Okay, I can easily read these points now. Okay, Sunday, March 31st. Okay, or Sunday, March 31st, 2024 to so time. Sunday, April 21st, 2024. All right, and then you can analyze the peak. Okay, the quantity sold, the quantity, the product that is sold with the highest quantity. You can see the one that is at the peak. Okay, so this is the number of products, 10. Okay, 12. All right, now if you want to identify this particular product, is for you to now drag the product column to this visualization. Somebody is raising up hand. Type your question, type your question. Okay, so hope I'm not fast. Yes, so for you to make your analysis more detailed now, you drag products. Let's find out that product that is sold 12 quantity in March. So when you drag your products there, you start seeing it per product. It's giving you another plot. These products, these now, the colors are now product based. Okay, blue is for bread. This guy purple is for butter. As the case may be, you can make this visualization large. Sorry, let me hold my shift key. Okay, if I want to make this adjustment in a way that it scales up without like affecting the form, I hold my shift key. Let me do it again. If you just drag this, okay, if you just drag, let me select it. If you just drag it, look at what happens. All right, it's affecting your this thing, but if you want to scale it without affecting the dimension, you hold your shift key, it will scale equally on all sides. All right, so now you are seeing the products: milk, juice, flour, eggs, butter, and bread. Okay, it seems the highest is actually flour. Okay, flour is sold 7. The quantity 7 bags of flour was sold as at this date, April 13, 2024. All right. So when you want to, okay, first of all, I want to believe that what I just talked about is understood. Please comment in the comment box and give a thumbs up if you get it. If you are still confused about what I just explained, still tell me in the comment box. Okay. Lawrence, I'm not seeing your question in the comment box. Your hand is still raised. I'll give room for question and answer very soon. Let me explain these key parts. Okay. Our class is supposed to be ending by 9, and we can continue. Kelechi is still confused. Okay, please, I want you to mention where you're confused so that when I'm going over the next section now, I would touch it. Mention where you are confused in the comment box. Okay? Yes. From just identify where you're confused. Same thing applies to every other person, please. Now, here's my okay. Okay, so now I was explaining, and I said, measure is a calculation that runs across our model. Okay, the calculation that runs across our model. So first of all, let's calculate this measure. For example, now total revenue. And how do you do that? All right. So this is the way. Now, back to Power BI. This is the table. We have our revenue. Okay, first of all, how do you even know the table you should create your measure? All right, you create it based on the table that have the parameter that you should be needing for your calculation. It's calculation, right? When you want to start your calculations in physics or maths, and you're given maybe a word problem, first of all, you stipulate your parameters. Okay, your parameters actually means what and what you're going to be needing for that calculation, and then you start picking them out one after the other from maybe the question or the question statements or the word problem. All right. So now we want to calculate total revenue. Okay, so the other table have other ID status and stuff like that, but the sales table have revenue column. Okay, and this is going to make our work easy. Okay, so all we just need to do is to do what? If you have an idea, drop it in the comment box. How can we calculate total revenue with the revenue column? Yes, it's basically by summing the total, the revenue column. Okay, so now to calculate that, I'm coming to that question. I'm coming to that question. Once I'm done illustrating this first measure, just follow me, okay? Whatever is your question, I'm seeing them in the comments box. That's why you have a comment box, okay? Put them there. So I said I made mention of how to start your measure calculation. Okay, first of all, you need to know the parameters you need and where it's located. For scenarios where you are using more than one table, just like we have more than one sheet. Okay, so now to start, I'm going to take it a bit. I understand that so many level of persons are here, so I'm going to take it bit by bit also. So to start, or to create our first measure, which is total revenue, okay, generated. So I'm going to select the sales table and right click on it. Okay, when you right click on it, you are going to see new measure. All right. So I'm going to select new measure. it's going to load up my DAX window, and then we can do our calculation here. Yes. So you're seeing up here, measure equals where you are to write your formula. All right. Now, this is where you write the name of the column. The name of the measure, rather, this is not column. Remember, I told you there is difference between measure and column. I'll still come back to that. The name of the measure, and then this is where you have the calculation. Okay. So I told you, I give the instance there. So you have the name of the measure we want to use. The name of the measure we want to create is total revenue. All right. And the calculation is sum of the revenue column. Now, let me explain this, like this formula, line by line. Okay. The sum function is often used in Power BI to calculate across column. Okay. Now, while you are having sales here, small letter, means we are pointing to the sales table. Okay. And in the sales table, what column are we looking at? We're looking at the revenue table, the column rather. Your column is often in a square bracket. Okay. And then you close bracket for the function. This close bracket works for the sum. All right. So is not so much different from what you do in Excel. Yes, here is a bit advanced anyway, but I'll try my best to make it simple. Okay, so you can see how I explained this line by line. All right. So, and let's get to this. So, well, we're about to use the sum function to sum all the value in the revenue column. Okay, let's get to it. So here, I said here you put the name of the measure, which is total revenue, right? Sorry about that. Okay, so total revenue equals sum. All right, select the sum function. Yes, it comes with the open brackets. Now you see, you're seeing the tables we have, and there are different columns. Now we want to select from the sales table, and we need just the revenue column. Okay, so it's here. You can just select it. And I've explained what the why is in this structure. All right. So even if you are not seeing it to select, you know that this is the table name, and then this is the column. Okay. So when you are done with this, just close your brackets. Okay. And then when you're done, you can Control S or use this commit icon here. Okay. And first of all, I want you to observe our sales table. Okay. We don't have total revenue yet, right? We don't have it. So let me commit. Our measure will be inserted automatically. And now, if you open our table view, you are actually not going to see this because it's a measure. Follow me, please. I'm about to explain the difference between this measure and new column now. Okay, I told you there's a difference between a measure and a column, right? So creating a new measure is different from creating a new column. Okay, just like your table view. All right, you can create this is our sales table. Let me select it. Okay, you can see all the columns that we have in our sales table. We don't have that total revenue here because it's a measure. All right. So to create a new column, you either follow the process I illustrated earlier, or when you right click on the column, let me go back to that view. When you right click on the table, you are also going to see new column. Hey, it's the same thing. Okay, please stay with me. So it means you can create column from two places. Okay, you can either do it from here, like by selecting it here, or going to your table view or your Power Query editor, which you are going to access from here, transform data, or you do it from here. Meanwhile, once you hit this, it's still going to pop up the same box, okay, that you saw when you were about creating that table, or you can create it here. All right, you can input your table name, your column name rather, and then the function to that runs across that column, just like we did for total sales value. All right. So the beauty of that end is that even if you don't know maybe the calculation, you are seeing that visualization that help you to insert whatever column name you want to calculate with, right? But here you get to like write the formula, type it. Are you with me? And if you want to type it, you still follow the same process. I told you, you specify column or column names inside a square bracket. So it's the same pattern. All right. So I'm going to close this, and let me take the questions, okay, before we proceed again. All right. Summation. Okay. Let me start from the first. Still confused. Okay. Kelechi, you said you were still confused, but you didn't see where you were confused. Okay, Lawrence says, do unselect a chart. I mean, do you select a chart? You need to use a slicer on. Wow. Your question is not straightforward, but if I understand you, you're asking if when I want to select a chart, I should leave the slicer on. It doesn't really mean, okay, it doesn't really mean you can leave your slicer on and create another chart. Okay, I can add another chart here, whether my slicer is set to, but the chart is going to be affected based on the range I indicate on my slicer, the range of time I indicate on my slicer, okay, or whatever slicer I include. I told you can create other slicers based on location. You can, it's like your filter, okay, you can filter based on location and all right. So I don't know if I answered your question. You can let me know. Lawrence, are you still here? Lawrence Ekeng, please, everyone should confirm if you can hear me.
Yeah, we are hearing you.
Yes.
I'm hearing you from here.
Okay. So
yes,
Lawrence,
I can hear you.
so Lawrence, I answered your question.
Calabar.
Hello?
Yes, I answered your question. Did I just answer your question?
No, you didn't really answer my question. What I was
Okay,
asking is this. On your screen, I could see two different charts. The bar chart and the other line something chart.
chat.
So I was
Yes.
asking, and you were doing the analysis on the second one, or when we're using the slicer. So I was saying, do you need to, when you're using the slicer, do you actually select any of those charts before you can now use your slicer? So that, because I noticed the bar chart, nothing was happening there. That was why I asked. Don't know if you now understand my point.
No, it actually affects the both of them. Let's test it now. It actually affects the both of them.
Yeah, because
Now,
I was not seeing anything happening to the bar chart.
okay, I
Yeah.
look at it right now. Hope you can see my dashboard.
Yeah, I can see very well.
Okay, so let's adjust the start date to like something meaningful. Did you notice my bar chart also
Okay,
adjusted?
okay. I can now see. I can now see.
Yes,
I didn't
it's
notice earlier. Okay,
okay.
yeah.
So
Thank you.
it affects your visualization. Okay, good.
Thank
So
you.
let me go to the next question. Say, sir, I'm confused about where you dragged the product that give us those multiple color. Okay. Let me review that again. I believe you're talking about here. Now, initially we plotted. I can delete this and go over it again anyway. So initially we plotted just quantity sold against dates, right? Quantity sold by date. That was the initial line chart. So let me delete this. So this is line charts. Okay, and then quantity sold to X. All right, and then drag dates to Y. I believe that was what we did. Okay, but let me just plot quantity sold and no dates to X and quantity sold. You want to visualize at over time. Okay, so I said line chart is used to calculate or visualize trend over time. Okay, so we want to view the quantity of products, the product that is sold the most with the highest quantity over time. All right. So now I inserted dates. You can also adjust your dates filter to maybe use, because you if you click this drop down, you're seeing the date hierarchy. You're seeing yay as a case. Maybe you just want to focus on months and date and date. Okay. So you see me on select them. All right. You can still cancel it from here. Okay. So now and then we drag quantity sold to Y, okay, which will give us this line chart. Let me take this full, okay. So, and this guy was giving us a very clustered visualization there. So that was what we plotted. Let me check my card. You can still respond, please. I want it to be interactive. Let me check this slide anyway. Even though this guy is taking time to load. So I said you should plot dates against quantity sold to values. Yes. So that should give you a visualization like this. This is still filtered. Okay, because I removed the. Okay, let me enable everything. Let it be the way it was then. All right. So let me go over it again so that it would have all the parameters we needed. Yes. Delete this guy. So this is the line charts. I want to plot dates against quantity sold. So I'm going to drag dates to X axis, and then I'm going to drag quantity sold to Y axis or secondary axis. Either of them should show us the plot we want to see. Since the slicer is still affecting my visualization, let me remove this guy. So now this is going to give you a clustered, very clustered chart. And why I added products to the plot is so that we'll have a more defined analysis. Okay. A more defined analysis. I don't know why this guy is not obeying me again. Okay, so these stuffs happen within this short period of time, and that is where we want to focus on. All right, that's where we want to focus on. You can actually select the range in time. So now, let's make it a bit clustered. Now, if you want to use slicer to actually calculate the trend over a particular period of time, I'm ruling off data here. Let me see what's wrong with this guy. So most of the transaction happened between March, April, and May. The peak of it is in March, and that was when we had that result. All right. So now, I wanted us to define the actual quantity. Now, if you select this, you see sum of quantity sold 200 and 221 in March. Okay. I did a dates filter in our Power Query. That's what's affecting this. Yes, I'm not seeing day in this order. All right. I'm not seeing time and day because there was time. All right. So now that is why I'm having different plots from what we had initially. So, but then let me illustrate what I'm talking about, and so how you can see somebody talk about when those different colors came in. Now that's different color you are seeing what we are to specify the different products. Okay, just the way you do your mapping and you see your key points. Okay, so those products we are demystified using different color lines. All right, so if you move on, it is the highest sum of quantity sold. Okay, so if you want to know the product that is affecting this, that is when you drag the product column to it.
Sir,
All
can't
right,
you remove the filter?
yeah, I can remove it, but I want to just explain what I'm talking about now. Okay, so you can drag this product to the secondary y-axis. All right, and then you see different colors and different products counts. Okay, or better still, you can just plot it, please. Yeah. So better still, you can just plot it based on uh, product, time, and unit cost. You're also going to see the same results. Okay. You're going to see the different products affected. I don't know why. Okay, this I'll have to adjust my uh, table structure from my Power Query to go back to the old form. Okay, but when you watch the video, you can play back and see line by line what I illustrated. Okay, so I'm trying to meet up with time for this class, and thank God that's why we are recording each class, so you can always replay. Okay, I pause and replay. If you still did not understand it, you can then come to my DM. Okay, yes. Now, the next question before we're about to let's finish up for the 5 and round up for this class. Just join network issue. Okay, please, the video is recorded, Chinenye. The video is recorded. Okay, data sets. I'm going to drop it right away. Copy link address. All right, so Chinenye, check the comment box. You'll see the data sets URL dropped again. Now, we're here. So you can see more DAX expressions and perform them. Okay. Now this DAX measure is to calculate. Okay. So this DAX measure is to calculate the total milk sold in. Okay. Now let's go to our table view and get to see what we have. So if we open our table view, you'll see our product. Okay, so we have milk have a very large record. Now you're going to see from our sales table, you're going to see different milk products, different products in our products column. Okay, we have milk, we have butter. Please try to mute your mic. Mute your mic. We have bread, we have egg, we have juice, and so on. All right. Now, we are to calculate the total milk sold in April, total quantity of milk sold in April, and here is your formula. Okay, here is your formula. To get that, how do we actually calculate that? I told you when you want to create a measure, first of all, you look out for the parameters you need. Okay, everything we are going to be needing for this calculation is going to be in the sales table actually. So because the sales table is like your sales record. Okay, all right. So you see all the sales that you make per time. Let's check the orders table if there is something helpful there for us. The orders table, okay, this one we want to now calculate the orders dates, and maybe you want to find out the customer that purchased milk more. Okay, so I told you the essence of your analysis is to make informed decisions. Data analysis help you see through your data, okay, and know the best marketing strategy to deploy. If you want to, for example, create a reward system for your highest customer, okay, you can easily get that from your analysis. All right. Now, let's say we create a measure to calculate the highest. How did we define it again? Sorry, let me go to my the total quantity of milk sold. All right. In April, for example, the total quantity of milk sold in April. Now, let's get to creating that measure right away.
Sir, nothing is showing on
So,
the screen now.
really? Is this
Is
because
your
of my network?
network?
I think it's showing.
My network.
It is
That you just put it now.
The
It's
screen
because of
is
your
okay.
network. Okay. So please confirm your network there. You can join, leave and join back or something. So now, remember how we create measure, right? We created this measure, total revenue, right? So to create a new measure, you just go ahead. Oh my God. You just go ahead and select the sales table. This thing is something really. Select the sales table and select measure. Select the sales table, right click and select measure. So this is where we now define the measure we want to create. The input field will come up. Okay. So you just have to define the name for the measure, all right, which is total milk or total quantity of milk sold. Okay. Let's use for consistency, let's use what we have here, milk April quantity. Okay, you know that this is a result of the total quantity of milk sold in April. All right, so I'm going to select this. Really? My goodness, what's wrong with this? Okay. I don't know why this guy is not obeying me right now. Okay. It's coming up. Okay, good. Now, you define your measure name here, and then you make your calculation in this end. Okay. So, and how do you calculate that? You use the calculate function. All right. And then you please mute your mic. So mute your mic. So to calculate the total quantity of milk sold in April, let me explain this code line by line, and then we'll get to it. Sum, like I told you, is often used to calculate across column, right? Now we're going to sum the quantity sold. All right, and we're defining a condition here. This is a conditional operator, the equal sign. Okay, in our next class, that's when we'll get to look at conditional statements more. Okay, so we are going to sum the quantity sold, the column of quantity sold, wherever we have milk. That's what this expression is about. First of all, from here to here. Okay, sum in our sales table, quantity sold, then what happens? This operation doesn't break until it's performed the whole sequence, just like Python code. For those of you that are learning Python, okay, Python interprets code line by line. The same thing happens in most operation. So it's going to check for where product equals milk, okay, and then it does the calculation. And now we want to sort for the month of May. So if it's January, you use 1, okay? If it's February, you use 2, all right? April is the 4th month, right? So we want to calculate for the month of April. So that's where you use 4 here, all right? So now get to do this now in your Power BI, okay? We'll call it a day. We've achieved a lot today. So the next is using the calculation, all right? Use the calculate function. Okay. We're able to enter into new line maybe without committing. Okay, how you do that is hold your shift key and hit enter. Okay, if you just hit enter, it will commit whatever change you've made. Okay. I hope you got that. So calculate some sales quantity sold, and then check for the month of May. And once you're done with this, just hit commit. So it's going to create this measure of milk April quantity. So once you've created these two measures, this and the total sales revenue, you can plot or visualize it with the card visualization. Okay. Yes, please. So don't forget to add your closing brackets because you're using the calculate function. All right. It starts with open brackets and ends with bracket. Every function, you see that when we use sum also, all right, to start with the open bracket and you end, close the brackets. Okay. Yes. So this is these are called keywords. Okay. just like in programming. These are keywords. Your Excel also, they are keywords. Okay, you get to see the sum function and all. Okay, so the month is there, the calculate is there. There are so many other operation keyword that you get to know as we proceed. All right, and once that's done, you can see the results here. Okay, you can see the results, and you can create a card. If you automatically select it, you should select a card. You select a card. Okay, selected a bar chart. If you want to visualize with the card, you just select the card visual, and it will give you the number. All right. So with this, you'll be able to create. I want you to practice these other measures. Okay, practice them. Get to do this tax and do your social media tax. All right. In the next class, we should be looking at if, switch, ranking, and all. We should be looking at conditional logic also. Okay. So other conditional operators, you can also try them out. All right, there is equal to, there is not equal to, and all. I wanted to check it out, try to know it. Okay, but in our next class we will touch them. So before we finally call it a day, I would want to know if there's a question. Maybe take a question.
Yes, I have a question, please. Not really a question.
Okay, please. Okay.
And thank you so much. I think you are doing a very great job here. I really appreciate it. However, for quite some time now, I've been trying to see how I can, have access to the group, WhatsApp group for data analysis, but it's been very, very difficult, and it's been bothering because some of the things I hear you give out as assignments or take-home tests in the class, I can't find myself laying hands on some of the materials, just like the data sets you are talking about. So I don't know how you can be of help to me in this place.
Okay.
So
Concerning that, yes, we even had a meeting, a board meeting concerning that today. So even though there have been progress regarding verifying people that have actually received mail to join the group and all, but to curb that, I created a Google Classroom, all right, which I was notifying that I shared it across the main group. Everybody should join the classroom because it's going to commence fully. All right, I would give you more tasks there. Let me open the classroom. So I'm going to share the link to the classroom in this description again, and I would also add it in the YouTube. Okay, so so that everybody can join the classroom, and you'll be able to see every assets that we attach. Okay, your learning resources and material, everything that you need, you are going to see it there. So I'm going to share it again. All right, let me I'll take that as a point of detail. Hope you're in the general group because I will drop it there also. So hope you're in the general group, sir.
WhatsApp general group. Yeah, I'm there. I'm there.
Okay, please.
I will drop the two. I think I'm in one, not in two.
Okay. When I drop it in one of the group, the project coordinator, I would also tell him he will share it across all the platforms. All right, so you also find it in the description to this video when I'm uploading it. Yes.
Okay.
So
thank you so
yes,
much.
so please. Okay, please, Lawrence, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. I also share most of his sentiment in terms of being unable to assess so many things, which is especially the data set, because some of us are not in the data analysis group.
So it's really making us not to flow easily, because it makes it easy
Okay.
when you're in
Access
the
the
group
learning resources and the group.
to access resources, and you can also communicate back easily. But that's not the case here. And unlike in the other group, we have it's easy. We are all in the WhatsApp, and when you have challenges, you can easily reach out to your listener and you get immediate feedback. So I think something should be done, because I registered long before the commencement of the class, and I've not received a single email regarding this particular data analysis classes or anything. So
I understand that. Yeah.
that WhatsApp can be created, or how do we guys we can be added to help a lot of us, because we are lacking a lot of, or having issues in some areas, but we can have that quick feedback from you.
Oh, okay. 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 I suggest that I have already spoken with them. Like I said, we had a board meeting today. Okay, so and they are working on it, and which I'm a developer also, so I had to leave what other tasks I'm supposed to do and come to see that my students are able to get the mail to join the class. Okay, but for the meantime, the solution to that problem is going to be our Google Classroom. All right. Yes, I try to share the resources in the classes, and I will be attaching them to the Google Classroom so you can always see them. All right. So if um O Oboda, okay, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. If it's
Yeah,
not the same,
Oboda.
okay, okay, please you can go ahead if it's not the same question.
I am still having issue with the installation of Power BI.
Wow.
Since on Monday I've burnt over 4 gig trying to install Power BI. They said they need the Microsoft.net.
Yes, yes. Okay, okay. Please let me treat that. Your Windows is 10, right? Hope you are using Windows 10 and above. That's the first criteria. Did you hear my question?
You can also ask him where he stays. If he's within my area, maybe I'll just help him out.
Okay.
That will
Yeah.
solve his problem instantly.
Yes, yes.
So
meanwhile,
I stay at UST Badgate.
Okay, okay. Actually, most of the persons joining are not even in Port Harcourt, but he mentioned something, Microsoft.net, and all. Now, why
After I
you
have installed it, it will say successful.
Yes. Why you are having that prompt, the person asking question is no longer in the meeting. I guess his network. So if there's any other person that having that issue, that is because of the driver, your system driver. Okay, so your system is lacking some essential driver. All right. So when you buy a new system, all right, you are required to format and drive so that you can be using your own configure anything you want to configure. So if your system lacks the driver for mic, for example, you cannot be using your system microphone. And how do you update your system driver? Okay, my screen is still shared. You can easily use this software, Driver Booster. Okay, it's easy, like it's not a long distance. It's by Orbit. Yes. So if you download this software, you will see step-by-step guide on how to update your driver. It will automatically detect the driver that you have in your system, and it will show you necessary drivers. All right, the ones that are necessary that you're lacking. Okay, you can just select and install, select and install. Yes, that would help you. Please, I don't know if he's not back yet, but if you're having such problem, you can DM me on WhatsApp privately, and I would do maybe a screen record and share to you or something. Yes, just like I guided one of us that about 2 persons contacted me earlier today, from day before yesterday, concerning not being able to create any column. I know I've treated it very well in this class right now. So, but then I have to make out time, do screen record and send to them. Yes. Linus, please try. Line.
I lost my
I
network. I just regained it.
know. I was just talking about that. So please try and contact me on WhatsApp. Yes, I will see to that. Then I would guide you on that. All right. Then
how do I get your number, please? How do I get your number?
From the group. I'm the group admin. Oh, let me type it there. 081 081
Okay, 081.
It's 900. I'm typing it in the comment box, so please use it.
Okay, I've seen it.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So having ended this today, please, I would want you to do all the assignment that is required of you. Join the Google Classroom. I'm seeing your assignment being submitted. Please, if you've not submitted from day 2, you can still submit. Okay. All right. And all thanks to the pioneer of this foundation for putting this up. Yes, if you have any form of partnership and collaboration with your company, or a friend's company, you know somebody that would be happy to collaborate or partner with this foundation, do well to reach out to us. Yes, any of the instructor at all, or Professor Bodolomiji himself. All right. So I don't know what more. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask, what does it take to partner with the foundation?
Okay. So there are different levels of partnership, whether funding or resource donation. Okay. So the foundation have a goal of running a academic program that we're planning to be a physical program. Okay. And some of the classes we're going to be doing for you would require Arduino kit for stuff like robotics. Okay. And you can donate with kits, resources, as the case may be. You can partner via funding. And if you want to get more about the partnership details, you can contact Professor Vodolononiji himself, who is the partner of this foundation, and you get more details.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so that's being said, that will be all for today. Good night, everybody.
Good night.